Hello, this is the Blimey Cow YouTuber, and welcome back to another video. Today, we'll be watching Messy Mondays, How Physical is Too Physical. We'll be watching it, commentating on it, and reading some of the comments thereunder. So without any further ado, let's just get right into this. Wow, wasting no time with the cold open, just straight into the intro there. My ears were not prepared.
Hey guys! Oh.
In fact, I think my audio is a little bit louder. I was having trouble hearing something the other day, so I put my audio up to 100 and not watched Blimey Cow since then, so I was not prepared for that loudness.
Oh, where to start? Lots has happened this week. Took some tests, did some homework, and oh yeah, I got a girlfriend. That's right, single people, in your face! I
Coagulations, mate.
only pretended that I didn't care if I had a girlfriend, but I was lying, and now you guys can eat your hearts out because I have a girl. That's a friend. Okay.
I would eat my heart out, but it's too cold and black and dark, and I don't have one. Get it? Because I'm pretending to be a goth person. But in reality, I'm not a goth person, because a goth person is just someone who pretends to be sad. And I'm not pretending. It's just actually sad. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so first things first. Because we're now dating, we can start being physical! Yay! My only real dilemma is trying to figure out how physical is too physical. I mean...
I need to bring up the diagram. I might need to bring up the diagram. I'm not going to bring up the diagram yet, because it's on my other computer. But I might have to bring up the diagram.
We've got to have some kind of boundaries, right? So I'm trying to decide how far is too far. And even though Hollywood is such a great role model on so many issues, I really feel like they've led me astray on this one. Okay, impressionable children, welcome to the countdown to doing the deal. At 12, you get to hold hands with your little sweetheart. At 13...
I think holding hands in the right circumstances could be, acceptable.
You get to smooch them a couple times.
Okay. I think this is a countdown to my diagram more than a countdown to any. What did they say? I'm not gonna repeat what they said.
At 14, though, you get to make out, and let me tell you that that is quite a wonder.
As someone who has never done either, genuinely, what is the difference between kissing and making out? Basically, it sounds like kissing is kissing, and making out is kissing a lot, or something like that, which admittedly is weird, but not different.
At 15, you have to keep it together and just make out for another year because 15 is just a little too young for the do. At 16, though, your patience pays off and you get to lose your virginity. A good riddance! Look.
Alright, so I'm not going to break out the diagram just yet, but I did connect the hard drive to this computer, so I'm gonna see what Blimey Cow says, and then I'll see how it compares to the diagram.
I don't want to start having children or anything, but I do want to make sure that I'm having some fun. So where's the balance? Like, how far can we go? Because I live by the Price is Right principle. Wherever the line is, I want to get as close as I possibly can to it without going over.
What do you mean you want to have fun? Is that ever a good thing to be saying? I'm being genuine. I'm asking genuinely. Has anything good ever come from someone saying, I just want to have fun? Some good things are fun. Doing fun things isn't always bad. But someone simply trying to excite themselves doesn't usually end well for anyone.
That just makes the most sense so that I'm having the most fun and being a respectable person at the same time. Right? I mean, I know that people normally just tiptoe around the subject without talking about it, but seriously, wouldn't that just be so enlightening if they did? I really want us to remain pure in our relationship, so I made us these two lists. This one's a list of things we can't do, and this one's a list of things we can do.
Oh wow, that's so thoughtful of you.
I know, I really feel like I'm honoring you doing this. And this. And this. And this. And...
Okay. Are there more things you can do than things you can't do? Yes. Yeah, there are infinitely more things that you can do than things you can't do. But, to quote the Apostle Paul, or to paraphrase the Apostle Paul, since I'm probably not going to get the quote exactly right, all things are lawful, but not all things are beneficial for me. All things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. There are basically a list of things you should do, a list of things you shouldn't do, and then who really cares about what's in between? I don't know if I'm being consistent with anything I'm saying. I'm trying to.
And this. But you know, if your system is based on a list of things you aren't going to do, well, isn't it just bound to fail? We need to limit the amount of kissing we do.
We need boundaries.
We should probably limit the amount of making out we do.
Boundaries are important.
Whoopsies. What's the...
That one's funny. Just the face Kelly's giving Josh.
What's the point of boundaries if they just change depending on what you want to get away with?
What do you mean? What boundaries change depending on what you want to get away with? If you have certain boundaries while you're dating, and then certain boundaries while you are engaged, and then certain boundaries once you're married, you're not changing them based on what you want to get away with. Because there's less to get away with. The boundaries are changing because there's less to get away with, not because there's less you're trying to get away with. Or more you're trying to get away with. I just confused myself there. But you get what I'm saying.
Shouldn't there be some foundation behind it, or what is this, just blind moralism? I mean, if you're just simply not doing stuff because you've been told it's a bad idea, well then, by all means, don't deprive yourself. You've got life to live. Okay, look, I'm not trying to sound like I think that it's wrong to have physical contact with your significant other. In fact, I'm about to surprise a lot of you by saying that I think that you should do whatever you want. Yeah! But while you're doing whatever you want, ponder this question for me. Would your behavior be different if your future spouse were in the room?
Okay. You should not do whatever you want. I don't think there's a... I don't think there's a way you can say otherwise and be consistent and still be giving sound moral advice. I don't think there's a way to qualify that advice. Okay. Take, for example, an engaged couple. Your question of whether or not you would be doing that with your future spouse in the room is hopefully irrelevant. Because hopefully, if you're engaged to the person who's going to be who is your future spouse. So unless you are advocating for no boundaries for engaged couples, then I would have to disagree. And I think this is probably a good time to break out the diagram. Okay, so you can see the diagram on first base with a minimum age of 11 and 12 for girls and boys, respectively. Your crush/mutual crush. You have side hugs, holding hands during prayer, and sitting on the same couch in youth group. When you're dating, starting at a minimum age of 12 and 13, again for girls and boys respectively, you are allowed full frontal hugs, holding hands for the heck of it, maybe the girl sitting on the guy's lap if it's like horizontally, perpendicular, obviously not parallel because that's weird. Oh, and did I mention going on dates? Then at a minimum age of 13 and 14, once you're engaged, kissing, I think you should not, I think you should save your first kiss for someone you know beyond a shadow of a doubt is the person you want to marry. I would not say necessarily that you have to have your first kiss during your marriage, so I would allow kissing once you're engaged, and then I guess making out would also fall under that, although again I don't know what that means, and then whatever weird things you freaks do. And then lastly, at a minimum age, once again, of 14 and 15, home plate is you're married and you get to do all the things except the weird ones. That is the those are the rules. I don't make the rules, I just make people follow them. And if you're thinking, oh, but those seem like awful young ages, I guess look at the laws in your state. Some states require you to be like 18 to get married, which is crazy. And speaking of which, you may be saying, you obviously failed to do any of those things at those ages, and I would say you are correct. I am a failure and a loser of the highest caliber, but that does not mean that I am wrong. It just means that I'm really inept at, I guess, socializing generally, but specifically when it comes to life and just, like, not sucking at life, I do suck at life, so thanks for bringing that up. But that's besides the point, and let's just get on to what Jordan was saying here.
Now, of course, this doesn't apply to all cases because sometimes you just know who you're gonna end up with, right? Take me and my new girlfriend, for example. She will be the future Mrs. Taylor for sure. No doubt in my mind. We are soulmates. Oh, it's my girlfriend. I wonder what she has to say. Oh, guys, you'll never believe this. She's breaking up with me. Now I look like an idiot. I want my kisses back.
Okay, on that note, I think I should also add another caveat to my, to what I shared with the diagram. This is designed for mature and, moral individuals. People who are fickle and immature and, as I said at the beginning, just trying to have fun will never be capable of nor satisfied with a meaningful relationship under the guidelines and framework I have established. Yeah. Anyways, though, I've shared a lot of my thoughts in this, video. But I suppose it would be prudent to go and see what some other people are thinking, so I will go and read some of the comments now. Alright, so I've gone ahead and gone to the comment section and picked out a few comments that I'm going to go ahead and read through quickly here now. At Transformers Lover John says, when you go down the rabbit hole, you start to realize just how Christian-y and after-school specially this channel is. I don't know what an after-school special is, but sure. At Ms. Elizabeth Ruth says, thank you for this video. I think it's really important to talk about your boundaries with your significant other, especially before you cross them. I realized that my boyfriend wasn't going to know how far I considered too far unless I told him. It wasn't a comfortable conversation, but we're both glad we did it. We respect each other a whole lot more because of it. And we are so excited for our wedding night. Well, that's nice to know you guys, I'm assuming at this point are married, because that was 10 years ago. It's also interesting to see something working out like that after that. When you were saying that you weren't, or when you said that you realized he wasn't going to know how far you considered too far, I was going to think there might have been some sort of incompatibility there. But it seems that worked out, and that's always nice to see. At the Cupcake Stealer 101 says, I have been watching these videos way too long to only now be realizing that he and the guy with the bad wig and glasses are actually the same person. I'm actually not sure how long it took for me to realize that Jordan and Big Head Kid were the same person. Because it was so long ago. I'm pretty sure I realized that they were the same person long before I realized that Big Head Kid was called Big Head Kid. I'm assuming I probably would have been able to tell the first time I saw Big Head Kid that he was Jordan in a wig. Because, I mean, the wig's pretty obvious, and his character is pretty unrealistic. Not throwing shade at the Cupcake Stealer 101 for not being able to realize it earlier, although they do themselves say that that it took them way too long to realize. Is that how you spell realize? Realizing? Does realizing have a Z? Anyways. At Tori Lynn C. Wanek 296 says, and now you guys can eat your hearts out because I have a girl. That's a friend. I have a friend that's a girl. Does that count? I'm guessing not. Gatekeeper. Anyways, that's going to be the end of this video, because I have come to the end of things to say in this video. So with that being said, I want to thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can watch the original video and subscribe to Blimey Cow. Links for both of those will be in the description below. But that is, as I said, the end of this video. So I will see you all